I here address Asma's spirit, which presides over this gathering, her colleagues and friends, the foot soldiers of the human rights community in Pakistan, honorable judges, excellencies, friends, and comrades. It is indeed an honor for me and a privilege to speak here, but before I go any further, I would like to thank the team at AGHS and the others who've organized this conference. Bravo, all of you. Asma would have been very proud of what is happening here for the past 2 days. So I am going to speak mainly about forced marriage in the UK, but I think it has some ramifications for what is happening in Pakistan. So the intersection of forced marriage and religion. Now, marriage, of course, is one of the most important relationships that human beings enter into in a lifetime. So in the UK, what is a valid marriage? There must be proof of capacity, which is that you must be able to understand mentally what it means to be married. कि आप ये समझते हैं कि शादी का मतलब क्या है? Have you attained the legal age of marriage, the age of consent, which is 18 in the UK, but I will turn to certain lacunas in the law later. And it's not very clear what it is in Pakistan, because the legal community, the cultural communities, and the religious communities are giving different messages, which indeed is also the case in the UK. Now, both parties to the marriage, and this is very important where forced conversions are concerned, both parties to the marriage must give their full and free and informed consent. And there must be proof of full, free, and informed consent. And the marriage must be entered into in the presence and authorized by a recognized officer of the law and the Registrar General in England. And those people who actually authorize marriages are supposed to be trained. And this is again an area of contention in England. So who are the people who are forced into marriage in England? 7 years ago, when the Forced Marriage Commission was set up, the focus was on Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, a lot on Muslims, Pakistanis, and minorities, and migrants. What we found in 7 years, it happens everywhere. It happens in all communities. It cuts across social class. It cuts across religions. It cuts across gender. It happens everywhere. And with due respect, forced marriage is a hidden crime. So because we don't know, do we not know, or statistics have not recognized, or researchers have not looked into that area, does that mean that forced marriage does not happen? How do we actually find out that full, fair, and free consent has been given? And as Farida mentioned earlier, that in fact, consent is ongoing. If you're in a marriage and you wish to leave it, but you can't because of social, familial, or religious pressure, that marriage then transforms into a forced marriage. You might have given consent to the marriage, but conditions are such that you wish to leave it. और आप उस शादी को छोड़ना चाहते हैं और आप नहीं छोड़ सकते क्योंकि आपके ऊपर समाजी, खानदान का या किसी मजहबी वजह से आप नहीं छोड़ सकते, तो वो शादी जो है वो forced marriage हो जाती है. So, who are the people who are forced into marriage? Again, over 90%, 90% se zyada, it's women who are forced into marriage, but men are also forced into marriage. Now, one very interesting thing that comes before the Commission and the voluntary sector organizations about forced marriage amongst Muslims in the UK, कि कुरान जो है वो आपको इजाज़त देता है कि एक मुसलमान मर्द जो है वो एक क्रिश्चियन ईसाई औरत और एक ज्यूइश एक यहूदी औरत से शादी कर सकता है. So, मगर ख़ानदान जो हैं, लोग जो हैं, वो अक्सर जब यहूदी और क्रिश्चियन औरतें उनके ख़ानदान में आती हैं, they forced conversions there. Now, the age of consent in the UK is actually 18, but parents and guardians can give permission for the marriage of a child that's over 16 and under 18. So that's a very vulnerable area, and I would here like to say that the age of consent and the clarity on the age of consent is very important, because a 16-year-old can't really understand what marriage is, and schools must teach children about marriage and consent. Then I'm delighted to share with you that just as I'm speaking to you in England, Parliament has accepted, both houses of Parliament accepted yesterday, that there's a bill to criminalize marriage of those under 18. I just want to highlight another community that is under threat of forced marriage and, interestingly, forced conversion. And that is the LGBTQ community. And what happens over there is that religious elders actually are approached by families to guide young people into marriage, into heterosexual marriage. And over there, what happens is that then those people are told that your religion forbids this, and then they are coerced into marriage. So I think that Farida is sending me lots of white slips. I thought I was supposed to speak for 6 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes. So I think I've exceeded my time. Thank you very, very much. And all the foot soldiers against forced marriage and forced conversions. One forced conversion and one forced marriage is one forced conversion and one forced marriage too many.